So we had a change up here that seems somewhat alarming for me.
Why don't you come sit over here?
Sure.
All right, this is your neck, all right?
Yes, sir.
This is the front of your neck, this is the back of your neck, all right? This is your spinal cord. Super unhappy coming down through here because all of this stuff here, it's pinched and it's discolored right here now in comparison to the prior MRI, right? This is bad, right? This is, your neck has completely failed in doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to protect your spinal cord. It is not doing that, okay? This needs to be corrected. That's why we're moving you up, right? Is because this is a bad finding, okay? Now, when I do this, what I do from the front is I drill all this stuff out here, get rid of this bump and all that stuff from the front. We put a block in here, we fuse these two bones together, right? Now, the other thing that's present there too is that when we look at the spine,
That we're going
at that
down.
area,
Osteoporosis.
no, I don't know, where do you get that from?
I've just made it up.
Don't be flinging words around like that.
Okay.
When you say block, are you talking about like a cadaver?
I use something that's like plastic, but shaped like a cinder block, where it's got like hollow holes in it. And in the hollow holes, I pack it with like a donated cadaveric bone.
And then it
that
can
grow-
grow.
That grows through there.
Okay.
So I find that works better. Sometimes I used to use a solid piece of cadaveric bone,
Right.
but I noticed that too often that sometimes the bone would collapse.
Okay.
So the other thing is made of a polymer, so it does not collapse.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. I also use really big, extra wide ones, so they sit on the apophyseal ring of the
She's
bone
had
out
she's
wide.
had the surgery too.
And if you get too much collapsing that occurs with that surgery, it kind of doesn't result in as good of an outcome. So I almost see nobody collapse anymore since I go out really wide now. I go wider than anybody. So I use extra large implants with that
Okay.
stuff, and it turns
Okay.
out nice. This is looking at the spine in the other direction. We're kind of looking down the pipe, right?
Right.
And we look here, you moved a lot, that's why they did it like several times. But so when we start at the top, right, here's your spinal cord,
Yes, sir.
here's the empty space around it, and then we go down, and then that's where it's narrowed, right? Right? They got this too, yeah, and then we get past it, right? Then we're at 3-4, and at 3-4, you have really bad narrowing of the nerve hole on the, this is at 4-5, on the left side. And then when we go down to 5-6, you have bilaterally pretty bad narrowing of the nerve holes. Okay? So 5 goes up to the shoulder, right? 6 comes down the arm to the thumb and the first finger in those areas.
What is this?
That's for, I know you've been hammering my assistant about that, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, we can't guarantee that that's going to go away, but a lot of time that is referred pain from the neck, okay? So that's what we call zygapophyseal pain, okay? And it's referred pain from problems in the neck. Like sometimes if I do the surgery, someone doesn't even have that pain. If I over-distract their neck during surgery, they will temporarily get pain back there after the surgery. And they'll be complaining, like, I don't know what happened during the surgery, but now I have this pain back here. And then it gradually goes away, like, as things heal.
Because I would say I'm symptom free. Other than that,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't have tingling. I don't
Yeah.
have. You
But
know,
when
far
we
as this
fuse these top two bones up here, though, right, we do run a problem with the severity of the narrowing in the holes at below, right? We can choose to leave those alone. So from a safety standpoint, it'd be okay to do that. And we could just do the one level up here, because that's really what we're trying to accomplish, is take the pressure off the spinal cord. If you don't have those other things, but I'm addressing more likely that that's probably referred pain probably from that C6 level. And so I thought we'd go down to that level and take care of that. Once you get past that level down there to the next level, it looks like it's pretty open at the next level. The holes are more open.
And how's his
Okay.
range of motion going to be once you do that.
What
Well,
kind
you're
of?
going to lose some range of motion, but not too much. And there's a lot of arthritis here, so it's not
The-
going to be
the
that
f-
much difference.
My older brother said, he says, the problem when they put plates in, he says, now all the pressure is going to be the one above and mostly the one below, which you wind up with more surgery later. And I says, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, those are some possibilities. You don't have a choice. You have to have surgery, right? You're not in an option picking mode, right? You have a spinal cord that's damaged, right? Right? You're going to end up in a wheelchair. You're going to end up never walking again. All right?
Exactly.
So this is not an option surgery at this point.
Okay.
The only option here is
Is
doing
when.
1 level or doing 3 levels, right? If we just want to address just that area where the spinal cord is narrowed, I think that nothing else like with that will be addressed, right? It still may not get addressed when I go down there, right? But you do have bad narrowing of those holes at those 2 other levels. So to me, it made sense to do all those
While you're
3.
in there,
to do
just
those.
take care of all
Yeah.
the damage.
But if you're like, no, I want to do the absolute minimum, then we can just do that top level, and I'm
Yeah.
fine with that because I'm mainly just concerned about protecting your spinal cord. That's the real kind
I
of
don't-
goal and
That's the
outcome of this.
urgency.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be back 6 months later. We should have locked the other one.
Now, whenever you have anything fused, that's always an issue, right? So when you fuse things, it does put mechanical stress on the level above and below, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the plate, it's actually the mechanical fusion, right? How you put the plate on also has a little bit of impact in terms of it affects levels below. I typically don't see problems as much with the level below as I do see the levels above, right?
Well, that-
level above tends to get affected more, but we're already at the top here at 3-4, and we very rarely see problems develop at 2-3,
Okay.
right? Right? So if you have a problem, it'll probably be at 6-7, but it'll probably take a while. It probably won't be. It's not like you'll be back in
Let me
like
ask
6
you,
months or something.
I have low back issues, which is what brought me in here.
Yeah,
this
no,
year.
so that's a separate issue. So once you get
Yeah.
this fixed, right, we can then kind of address your low back issues, right? And your low back issues, you have some bad stenosis in your back. So when we look at your back here, right, you can see here that you have like bad stenosis that we can probably make quite a bit better, right? So when we start at the top of your back, or even the bottom of your back, this is the bottom of your back. See this area here?
Yes.
That's where all the nerves go. And then,
Whoa.
Where are they?
yeah, this is all squished. This is right here at 4-5.
Oh, wow.
That's
Right.
what's giving
And
me
that's
my
why he's
Yeah.
having those spasms.
Yeah, this is really narrowed right here, right?
Mhm.
That's terrible looking. And
Is
then when
it-
you get past that, it opens up again, and
Then
then
it goes away.
no, it's not as bad. You have some
Going into
stenosis
silver.
up here, but nowhere nearly to the same degree as it is down at 4-5.
Okay, right there.
This is
yeah.
pretty bad looking right here, right?
So how involved is that for repair?
I mean, there are different options for what you would do at this level. So, I mean, a lot of this has to do with, let me see here, which one's the one that's at the right angle? I mean, we could try like a smaller surgery here, which is just called a laminectomy, which is where we just remove bone off the back and then we clean out the area. We don't put screws in, no rods, and that's all we do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would probably be the best first
And
thing
but
to
what
do.
protects the spinal cord when you do that?
There's tons of stuff back there. It's like,
So
yeah,
it's-
it's a very routine surgery. Everybody gets it done. Nobody has any precautions they do for the back. It's shielded. It's separated from everything.
You know, I've reviewed and I have total trust in what you're saying and doing at this point from what all the reviews are and what I've seen. So my confidence is with you. My mind's still trying to get around what's going on.
Right.
But you're saying I'm going to be paralyzed if I don't do this. Is pretty much what it comes down
Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
So
that's
if-
not a cheap sales threat. I mean,
Yeah.
you have like on the
Yeah.
MRI, you already have damage to the spinal cord.
to. So the
And it's in a super narrow area. And so even every time you're just casually moving the neck, you're rubbing that spinal cord.
Yeah.
That's a structure that's not supposed to be rubbed,
Okay.
right? And that, and then it's gonna, either you're gonna get progressive disability from very gradual progressive injuries to the spinal cord, or you're just gonna even do something as silly as trip on a pylon in the parking lot,
sneeze.
and then you're gonna be done in the ER saying, I can't move my legs, I can't feel my arms and my legs. You
I
know?
don't want to go there. But
Yeah.
now
I mean, if that was me,
yeah.
I would want it done like, pretty much
Yesterday.
like, yeah.
Well, and that's where we're headed. Now, the next question is what does my future look like? I mean, you said, do I have an opportunity to be inactive again? Do I have an opportunity?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
go, yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to
when-
invite you, but you could go skiing with me.
Come on, man. But no, but
You
that's
can do
what I
stuff
say.
like that. You can
Yeah.
do stuff like that.
Because
You can
I
be-
haven't been
You
able
can
to.
be normally active, yeah.
I haven't been normally active in the
Yeah,
last
I mean, you're
3
gonna have to
years.
sort of pick and choose, like, you know, kind of like from a standpoint of like,
Because you can,
what do you
this
think
stuff's
is
pretty
gonna?
sturdy stuff once it's
Yeah,
in.
yeah. You know, once it heals, like the neck heals,
Yeah.
nothing's ever gonna be a problem with the fused area.
Right.
It'll always be an issue of the stress on the adjacent level, right?
Right.
So if you're gonna go and like, you know, do some like repetitive fall sports where you're tumbling all the time, it's probably not a great idea because you're gonna be putting repetitive stress on that area of the neck.
No judo.
Now,
no-
if you go out and do it like, you know, like it's like a really nice day and I got invited to my friend's house and they want to go water skiing, I want to go and I used to water ski, go water ski,
Yeah.
right? But like,
Not after
should-
the surgery,
but-
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, after the surgery, when
Right
it's
after?
healed, not right after, but when it's healed,
when you're
it's
not
healed.
hurting.
When is it healed?
Probably about 6 months for that.
Good.
Yeah,
All right, now
but
we.
like, but then like, should you go every weekend? No,
No.
right? You know, not every
Understand.
weekend, right?
Look, I mean, sometimes I got to split wood or cut a tree and be able
Yeah.
to do. I did that last week.
But
Right.
he can't do that for 6 months, right?
Yeah,
Split
no.
wood,
So the
cut a tree.
complete about 6 months.
Okay.
And so what we do is we radiographically track you out to that point. So
Okay.
we get X-rays until we're satisfied we see healing. That's when we clear you for all the extra rough stuff.
But
Okay.
before we even get there, we go and get this done. Then we got to get me dressed for this.
Yeah, and
Is
so
that
what-
this year?
Yeah. So what I usually tell people if like they have a pressing issue with their back, which you're not like the only one who has back and neck problems same time, right? Then usually like if you want, the minimum time is about 3 weeks. So you can have your neck surgery.
I'm thinking
and
5 or
3
6 weeks.
And
That
then
would be
3,
fine.
yeah, then you can wait that period of time and then you can go in and get the back done. Okay?
I'd like to be done by the
Every now and then I
holiday.
do someone at the same time.
That's-
It is awful experience for the
Yeah,
patient.
Yeah.
It really does not turn out well. It's too hard to have two things at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And people think like, no, I can do it. And then
Yeah.
I get talked into it every now and then. And I won't do it anymore because every time I've done it,
Let me ask
they're
you.
just super unhappy.
The amazing thing is here, if it wasn't for my son-in-law, which you're going to be doing some work with,
Uh-huh.
Nate Von Duran,
Uh-huh.
I might not have made it here. And the
Because
o-
it's not really a pain problem,
The
you know,
only-
and that's very common. That's hard for people to get
Yeah.
wrapped around their head.
Yeah.
Is that when the spinal cord is getting squished, it really doesn't cause pain, and so the earliest symptom that someone will see will be wobbliness.
Yeah, that's
They'll
what she
feel
was
like a
telling
little
me.
bit of wobbliness, and when it happens to old people,
They fall.
it's even a bigger problem for old people because old people rationalize it as I'm getting older.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting wobbly because I'm older. And they let it go way too long where they're like in here using a walker or they're practically in a wheelchair and then we're figuring out, oh my god, look, it's like your neck. And then the problem is that you don't really improve that much after the surgery.
Right.
What we do from the standpoint of the spinal cord, what we do is we get the pressure off the spinal cord, we protect it, and we prevent further injury to it. But there's not some miraculous bounce back where it like repairs itself after the surgery. Sometimes there's a small incremental improvement, but not a lot of like repair going on with that thing. It's different from the nerves that come out. So the nerves that come out can get beat up, you can get weakness, you can get numbness, and then after you decompress them, people get a lot of that function back, right? Not the spinal cord. The spinal cord doesn't behave that
My
way.
Dr. Stillwagon had the same surgery. He said it's good surgery. Go get it done.
Yeah.
And the thing that's blowing my mind is I would have been in for orthopedic surgery and no one addressed the top until I got here.
Yeah.
That could have been.
You're his third consult.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
brother's having surgery tomorrow in Tampa.
He's at the Tampa Bay laser surgery, spinal surgery.
Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
Wiesner,
so
Dr.
clammy.
Wiesner.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well,
Clammy.
this is making me hot. And I had that hot chocolate. Now I have all the confidence in the
All right.
world in you. My daughter researched you. You know, you probably met Michelle. Million Questions, Michelle.
Yeah.
All right.